Here's what they never told you about that white collar priests wear, and why it matters for your faith today. Welcome to the Word, where timeless Bible truth meets everyday life. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Let's walk in truth together, starting today. You've seen it 1,000 times, that distinctive white band around a priest's neck. Maybe you wondered why they wear it. Maybe you never gave it a second thought. But what if I told you this simple piece of cloth holds answers to some of the biggest struggles you're facing right now? What if the same commitment it represents is exactly what's missing in our lives today? Stick with me, because we're about to uncover a truth that goes way deeper than clothing. Let me ask you something real. How many of you wake up feeling like nobody sees the real you? You're trying to live for God, but at work, at school, with friends, you simply blend in. You keep your faith quiet. You don't want to stand out. You don't want to be labeled. You just want to fit in and get through the day without conflict. I get it. We live in a world where being publicly Christian can cost you. Cost you friendships, cost you opportunities, cost you that promotion because you won't compromise your values. It's easier to hide. Easier to keep your faith private. Between you and God only. But here's the thing, that's exactly the opposite of what God calls us to do. Matthew chapter 5 verse 14-16 says this, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Now, let's talk about the clerical collar. The clerical collar didn't just appear out of nowhere. Its story actually starts way back with the earliest Christians. Picture this, the first priests wore simple, modest clothing. Nothing fancy. Nothing that screamed, "Look at me." Just humble garments that showed they were servants. Servants of God and servants of the people. As Christianity spread across the world, things changed. The church grew. And with that growth came the need for structure. The need for identity. The need for clear signs of who was called to shepherd God's people. Then came a turning point. The Council of Trent in the 1500s. This was a massive moment in church history. The leaders gathered and said, "We need to get back to basics. We need reform. We need clarity." And part of that clarity meant distinct clothing for clergy. Clothing that would set priests apart. Not to make them better than anyone else, but to make their calling visible. That's when the clerical collar became official. A white band around the neck. Simple. Clean. Unmistakable. But why white? Why a collar at all? The white collar is a public declaration. It says, "I am committed. I am set apart. I am here to serve God and serve you." Think about what commitment means in today's world. We live in a swipe right culture. Everything is temporary. Jobs are temporary. Relationships are temporary. Even our attention spans are temporary. We jump from thing to thing, never fully committing to anything. But that collar says, "I'm all in, no matter what, through the good times and the hard times, through praise and through criticism. I am committed." And here's where it connects to you and me. We might not wear a clerical collar. But every single one of us who follows Jesus is called to the same kind of visible commitment. Romans chapter 12 verse 1 tells us, "Present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship." But let's be honest about what makes this hard. You're at work, and everyone's gossiping. Tearing someone down. And you know you should speak up, but you're afraid they'll turn on you next. So you stay quiet. You're scrolling social media, and you see post after post that goes against everything the Bible teaches. And you want to share truth, but you're scared of being called judgmental. Scared of losing followers. Scared of being cancelled. So you just keep scrolling. You're with friends, and they're planning something you know you shouldn't be part of. And you want to say no, but you don't want to be the weird one. The religious one. The one who ruins the fun. So you go along. Sound familiar? Here's what's really happening. We're hiding our identity. We're taking off our spiritual collar because we're afraid of what being visible will cost us. But the clerical collar teaches us something powerful. It teaches us that visibility isn't about pride, it's about purpose. When a priest puts on that collar, he's not saying, "Look how holy I am." He's saying, "I'm here for you. When you need prayer, you can find me. When you need guidance, I'm available. When you're hurting, I'm approachable." The collar is actually an invitation. It invites people to seek help, to ask questions, to share their burdens. Now think about your life. When people look at you, do they see someone they can turn to with their spiritual struggles? Or have you hidden your faith so well that nobody would ever think to ask you about God? 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 15 says, "Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have." But here's the catch: people can't ask if they don't know you have hope. They can't come to you if they can't see you're different. The clerical collar solves this problem. It makes the priest visible, identifiable, accessible, and we need the same thing in our lives. Not a literal collar, but a visible commitment that people can see. Now, the collar doesn't stand alone. Traditionally, it's part of a larger garment called the cassock. This long, flowing robe that priests wear. It started in the early centuries of Christianity and represented modesty and simplicity. But here's something interesting. In modern times, fewer priests wear the cassock every day. Times change. Fashion changed. Practicality changed. But you know what hasn't changed? The commitment. The calling. The sacred responsibility. The cassock might be worn less, but what it represents, a life fully dedicated to God, that's eternal. That's unchanging. And that's the same for us. The ways we express our faith might look different than they did for Christians 100 years ago. Maybe you don't carry a giant Bible everywhere. Maybe you don't speak in King James English. Maybe your worship looks different. But the commitment, that should be just as strong. Just as visible. Just as real. If this is speaking to you so far, make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Might be a good time to tap that bell too. Now let's talk about the stole. This is the long piece of fabric that priests wear draped around their neck during Mass. It hangs down the front, often in different colors depending on the church season. The stole goes way back to ancient Roman times, where it was a sign of status and dignity. But when Christianity adopted it, the meaning transformed. It became a symbol of authority, but not worldly authority. Spiritual authority. When a priest wears the stole, especially during the Eucharist or when administering sacraments, he's acting, in persona Christi, in the person of Christ. He becomes a representative, a channel, a connection between God and the people. The stole reminds us of something crucial: the priest isn't acting on his own power. He's carrying God's authority, God's grace, God's mercy. And here's where this hits home for you and me. We might not be ordained priests, but if you're a believer, you have authority too. Jesus said in Luke chapter 10 verse 19, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." You have authority to pray and see things change. You have authority to speak life into dead situations. You have authority to stand against darkness. But here's the question: are you using it? The stole changes colors throughout the church year. Purple for seasons of preparation and repentance like Advent and Lent. White for celebration during Easter and Christmas. Green during ordinary time, representing growth and hope. Red for the Holy Spirit and martyrs. These colors teach us something beautiful about life. We go through seasons. Right now, you might be in a purple season. A time of preparation. A time of struggle. A time where God is refining you, and it's uncomfortable. It hurts. You're waiting for breakthrough, and it feels like it's never coming. Or maybe you're in a white season. Things are good. God is blessing. You're experiencing victory, and you want to celebrate. Or perhaps you're in a green season, just growing. Just learning. Nothing dramatic happening, but you're slowly becoming more like Jesus. Whatever season you're in, the stole reminds us that all of it matters. All of it has purpose. God uses every season to shape us. So here's where everything comes together. That clerical collar, that cassock, that stole, they're not just religious accessories. They're symbols of something we desperately need in our lives today: visible, committed, purposeful faith. We're living in a world that's darker than ever. More confused than ever. More hungry for truth than ever. And what does it need? It needs people who will stand up and be counted. People who will wear their faith, not literally with a collar, but with their lives. It needs people like you who will say, "Yes, I follow Jesus, and I'm not ashamed." It needs people who will be accessible when others are hurting, just like the collar makes a priest accessible. It needs people who will carry God's authority and grace into every situation, just like the stole represents. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear but of power and love and self-control." You don't have to be afraid of being visible. You don't have to hide your commitment. You don't have to apologize for your faith. In fact, the world is waiting for you to step up. Think about the people in your life right now. Your co-workers, your classmates, your neighbors, your family members who don't know Jesus. They're watching you. And whether you realize it or not, your life is either inviting them closer to God or pushing them further away. What if you decided today to put on your spiritual collar? Not literally, but to live so visibly for Jesus that people can't miss it. To be so committed that when they think of God, they think of you. To carry God's grace and authority so clearly that people are drawn to the light in you. The clerical collar teaches us that commitment must be visible. The cassock reminds us that dedication to God is eternal, no matter how the world changes. The stole shows us that we carry authority and grace, and we go through seasons, but God is faithful through all of them. So here's my challenge for you, Word fam. Stop hiding, stop blending in. Stop being afraid of what your visibility might cost you. Put on your spiritual collar. Let people see that you belong to Jesus. Be accessible. Be committed. Be a light in the darkness. Because the truth is, somebody's waiting for you to be brave enough to be visible. Somebody's life is going to change because you stopped hiding your faith and started living it out loud. And that's worth more than any comfort zone. More than any acceptance from the world. More than anything this temporary life can offer. If this opened your eyes, you won't want to miss our next captivating video. Do you know what the oldest known Bible fragment is on planet Earth? Have you heard of Papyrus P52? Stick around to find out, and remember, keep being a blessing.